Right, let's do it.
Okay, well, welcome to the How to Improve Efficiency for Renovation and Interior Design Businesses Using AR/VR Technology webinar. Today we're gonna present to you these new technologies that can help business to improve. And I have my colleague here that will be the main speaker, Timo Pastila. Timo has a long background in mobile applications and how digital technologies can help business to improve their processes. He is a founder of INEC, a Finnish startup that focus on AR solutions for providing new ways of redesigning spaces for renovation and interior design projects. So that can help both the business side and the individuals that are hired those business to do renovation and interior design projects. So Timo, my name is Fabio Bittencourt, and I'm be helping on the process of this webinar today. Timo, the floor is yours. I think you can start.
Thank you, Fabio. I hope you're all having a great day. We have an exciting webinar today and about really how these new technologies change these businesses of renovation and interior design with a lot of opportunities there. And I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of audience for this also later. We are recording this webinar and we're going to share this to you guys and who registered and maybe later also for more people. So that's something that it's we see a lot of opportunities here, and I'm sure you'll be also excited about this, how it goes. So the world is changing with technology, as we have been seeing it in many areas, and this is now going to change also these areas where we're doing renovation interior design. So I will give you here the agenda here. So this is we will give you a quick overview of what is the focus here today, and then we talk about the challenges there. We can see there some of the challenges in these areas and these industries, and then we talk about these opportunities really we can see there in this market already today. And then we'll be concluding something, and then at the end we'll have a Q&A session if there will be any questions there today. So the scope today is really about renovation, home improvement, and interior design, especially from the business perspective. That so basically looking at it from the perspective when you are selling this kind of services, but also when we are seeing kind of individual, what would be the aspects you are seeing there at the same time, and how this will be changed really with these technologies. So one of the things which is clearly, we are actually putting together here renovation interior design, even though they're kind of sometimes different phases of the same project and maybe different kind of people working on those, but they are sharing some of the same challenges, which as far as we see it. One of them is simply that, okay, if you have a customer for whom you are going to be doing some work, you have to understand the customer first, of course, and especially the customer's place. What is it all about? Is it what are the dimensions of the place? what are even the colors in the place if you're doing interior design? So that kind of things that, okay, and what does it look like? What is where there? What are the different maybe technical solutions there? So you need photos clearly, you need measurements there, and how are you actually taking all this and how to understand the floor plan and even the whole space, how it's being used or can be used. And that's something where there are obviously ways to do it. They are pretty old and they are clearly sometimes slow, and sometimes there will be errors there. And also sometimes it's simply costly to go there and in a phase where you don't even understand yet whether there will be a customer, real paying customer for you. You will need to go there, make a lot of studying there, and actually without knowing yet whether this will become actually a customer. So that's something that where we can see opportunities clearly, and we can see as a challenge area. Another challenge area which we mentioned here is that how to actually inspire people and how to actually even visualize the end result to the people. So if we talk about the renovation interior design, it's always about changing the place. So the question is that we as people, we have different views of how these things look and how they could look. So this is something where can easily there will be miscommunication or just different understanding of how it could look like. So if we are the interior designer is just trying to somehow give the visual picture to the head of the people, or the renovator tries to explain something, and it can be very different than what the people see, how the people see it. And there could be a lot of interesting miscommunication and problems later there. We can, maybe all of us can have seen this in our own life even at some point, but they can be very simple things, how the doors are actually the left or right hand doors, and there can be many things which can be very confusing, and then something which it's difficult to fix afterwards if we didn't picture it right in the head together. This is something where we can really see challenges, and we can see that different technologies can help on this one very, very quickly. So from the homeowner point of view, or from the customer or individual point of view, it's often the flip side of the coin in a way that it's similar type of challenges, or maybe a different part of the same challenge. So when we talk about understanding the customer requirements, the customer place, from the consumer perspective or the homeowner perspective, it's something that how about what will be the cost actually? I would need to understand the cost. Okay, how much will it cost actually, and how to get quickly an understanding of that, so that we are not talking about we are thinking it's maybe 1,000 euros, for example, or and the other one is saying it's 10,000 euros dollars. So that's something that clearly we have to quickly get an understanding of the rough cost estimates as at least. And that's clearly that how to do that in an efficient way, so that we wouldn't need to invite a lot of people to our house and have a lot of discussions and use time on that. So that's clearly a challenge area we can see, and we can see also some solutions there. Another one is that how to equally then with the service provider and the contractor, there would be with the individuals, how to really get inspired. So what should I put here actually in my kitchen or in my bathroom? So this is something that I would like to understand as a consumer, that, okay, what are the options I have? And at the same time, here in the picture, we are showing a fight here, but it's a reality that often in these projects, they can be nerve-wracking in a way that, okay, within the families, there can be a lot of different arguments there. And especially if things go differently, people had different views on that, how it should look like, and it will be looking, something wouldn't work afterwards. And they didn't have the same picture in mind how it would be at the end of the day. So this is something that where we can see a lot of kind of interesting challenges, but also opportunities how to improve this with these technical solutions. So here I'm now jumping to the solution space and the technologies here we are talking about here. So I'll first give you a very quick overview of what this terminology means. So we talked in the name about ARVR /VR. So first of all, virtual reality or VR is about simulating a complete experience. Really, let's say a complete space. So if you think about, there could be a virtual digital twin of your home, or maybe of your one of the rooms, maybe bathroom or kitchen, which is something which would be virtual objects, and then you put glasses on, and then you can walk in that room, let's say, with using those kind of handles there. This is about virtual reality. And then you would need to actually model the whole space virtually, which is a little bit also time consuming, sometimes can be costly as well. It's one of the challenges, of course, in the virtual reality area. In the augmented reality, on the other hand, there you actually don't need to model the whole space. You actually need to have, you normally have individual objects there. Like here, as an example, this Pokemon Go, which is a popular game. It uses augmented reality. It's basically showing something in the real life, which is in real life is not there. So that's maybe like this character on the grass is something which is trying to. It's how we see it is that you actually bring the future to the present. You can see something that could be there, but it's not there today. So if you think about from the renovation interior design perspective, it clearly gives opportunities to show something that how things could be in the future. And this is something which is totally accessible already for mobile devices, so which everybody have in their pocket. So this is giving it a lot of opportunities. How we see it as that augmented reality can change really these businesses, because it's accessible, it's easy to use, and then you can bring the future to the present. But not only that, you can also understand the world, which uses the camera, and it actually can understand the dimensions of the world. So I will give you some short video here so that you get an understanding of what are the opportunities with augmented reality. This is being shot through a mobile applications developed by us actually. So you can see actually here that you can, in a real space, you can bring there different virtual objects like pieces of furniture and put them to different places, change the places, quickly rotate, move, and bring new ones there. So this is something which is like a completely new design for the redesign for the space. So this is something which exists today as an option and technology, and it's something which is really interesting kind of opportunity we see there. So let's go to the next video, which we are seeing here. We are here talking about we'll have a bathroom environment where we actually have a bit more complex use case in a way that we combine here things like how do you actually measure things. And with the measurements, you can actually start thinking about, you can see all the dimensions, you can start budgeting, and then you can also sketch designs, like a quickly sketch, and then save that to the web also, that result, so that, for example, if your customer could do these things, they could also send you the data about the environment, which would allow you to do already initial designs for that space, so that and without any visit there. So I will show you the video so that you get an idea of that roughly. So here we can show that with just a mobile app, which is an augmented reality app, you can click the corners of the room in the bathroom and then just take the measurements in a couple of minutes. And based on this, you already have all the dimensions, space, lengths, areas, and so on, which gives you a very quick overview for the budgeting already. And then you can take photos so that any renovation partner or the contractor could actually see there. So basically, if you want to give this app to them, they would actually be able to give you all this data. And then if you want, they could be also sketching things. They could actually try things that how this would be actually working in their areas. Basically making a complete quick sketch of how things could look like. And then there would be, you would be getting data, not just these measurements, but actually there could be also their sketches there already, that there would be in the web, just sending you a web link, and you could see it all there. Okay, what was their plan? What was their idea? And then you can bring them actually, you can let them try things with the mobile app, how it could work out. Maybe like the complete specific design for that space. They could try that in the mobile application. So think about how many opportunities that could open actually for your process. So here is another use case in a way that if you are making a renovation, for example, a kitchen here, so how to do the installation fitting. So actually, this is all often a problem that if you are installing something, if you have designed some kind of new cupboards or something, can we be sure that later that when we come there and install them, especially if there would be multiple parties in this process, that it would be something that it would be actually really fitting, that does it fit there? Here the measurements have been taken and you've been visually trying to put their kitchen, and then actually this is a little bit transparent picture, shows that okay, with the transparency you can put there a 3D model of the kitchen and see that whether it matches in right places for this water piping and electricity and so on. So this is just an example of another use case which would be completely today feasible with augmented reality. So today in the market, there are apps, quite a few apps with augmented reality. So this is something that if you haven't tried this, please try different apps and get an understanding of what this space provides as opportunities. These are just examples. You can go to Google Play, to iOS App Store, Apple App Store, so that you can actually find different apps and try them and see how it works for you. We started to develop our own app with an idea that, okay, you would be not just able to measure things, but you would actually be able to create complete space models of the space And not only that, even that you can actually even design to that space or visualize things to that in that space, so that it would be something you can try out things with, bringing the future to the present in a way. So this is the combination of what we have been productizing on. But certainly there'll be a lot of apps. And also important thing is that even if you just take the measurements, make sure that you at least you can integrate that to your process, that how it would be actually adding value to you, that it's not going to be the same thing like a paper measurement app. You take the measurement and then you have to put it on a paper and then start drawing things. But it's something that it would be useful for you to reduce your kind of bidding time, reduce your costs and so on. So that's pretty important to take into account.
Here is an example. I can make a comment here, Timo.
Sure, absolutely.
I think the integration is a key word on this process, since these measurement tools, they seem to be nice and useful, but there might be an additional need for getting the information, the data, and then integrate with the processes and systems that for the organizations that use those data in their processes. So I think
absolutely, Fabio, absolutely.
The key word here, and I want to just make that comment.
Thanks, Fabio. That's absolutely right. And integration is something which is also, some people see integration as a challenging word, but it's something that is easy integration, which obviously everybody wants. So here exactly the thing is that, of course, you can integrate any results. Even if you use the measurement tape, you practically integrate the data so that maybe the integration will be that you first measure, then you write on paper, then maybe after that you type it to some system, and then you start maybe designing something, and that's still an integration, but it's a very time-consuming integration in a way. And of course, the optimal integration would be something that you just take the measurement and all the data will be available for anybody immediately who actually needs the data. And that's something where we have been at least focusing on, that how to make sure that whenever you measure something, it's immediately available for all the stakeholders easily. So that's something, because then you can reduce bidding time actually, because then everybody knows what this customer is all about. Where is the customer? Who is it? What's the data? So that's something which is pretty important. So when you think about different solutions, also consider that thing. So IKEA here is clearly, it's one example here, just to give you an idea in the furniture world, that what's happening there, that companies like IKEA, they bring their app where actually it uses augmented reality in mobile, so that you're actually capturing the space and you're able to delete your furniture and replace them with the IKEA's furniture. That's something, and then after that, you can design things in the desktop environment. It's a conceptually very same thing which we started to develop a few years ago, and we believe that, okay, this kind of solutions should be available for any contractor, any service provider there, and we think that it's possible today already. So this is obviously IKEA's own thing, which have been developing it for themselves, but we can see that these kind of solutions are available for anybody in the market already today. Here is an example of one of our customers, Puusteli, who is selling kitchens in Finland. This is an interesting case where you actually can, I can give you a little bit of background of this. How they ended up with this is that this is, they really saw that this visiting the customers takes time, and always, of course, you don't always know whether they will become your customers. So it's sometimes a wasted effort to go have a lot of visits there and use a lot of time, and then you actually won't know whether this becomes a customer. So it's good to have as one possible lead generation tool is that you have an app where actually your customers or prospects can actually take the measurements and take the photos and give some small additional data, which you can then send to you, and then you can actually assess, okay, does it make sense to go there on site onto the customer premises, or can I actually send a bid based on this data? So this is actually a very powerful tool to reduce cost in the bidding phase, and also to create new leads, which are actually coming from a different channel in a way. And not only that, they actually came to the conclusion that, okay, now they can actually really give their customers opportunity to actually get inspired and see the future in the present. And here on the right, there's an example where you can use a sample kitchen to try, okay, is this like the right colors for me? And there would be multiple sample kitchens their customers can try that, okay, is this the right one? Maybe there's another one I would like better. This is something you just take the mobile phone from your pocket and try. And the last thing which they are already doing today is that actually it's not just about sample kitchens and the measurements. You can actually even bring the real customized kitchen models live, which have been basically designed based on these measurements. They will design a complete kitchen and then bring it there with a mobile app, so that the customer simply clicks a link in the website, and then like maybe customer's portal, and then they click the link, and then it opens the app, and then you can put the kitchen design there. That's pretty simple, and this is not about future. This is how it is already today. So think about the opportunities that would be for you on this one, and we can ask more questions from us, of course, later. So here is just a simple checklist for you. Whenever you are picking up an ARVR solution, you should think about obviously the business benefits, easy availability, ease of use, and so on. And especially, is it very quick to deploy for different customer cases and so on. And last but not least, does it really integrate with your existing process easily? So this is just for you. You can look at this later and think about that. Okay, how will it work out? We just want to help you to find the right type of solutions here in this space. So conclusions part now is that, as we already discussed here, it's very clear that augmented reality helps you to bid quicker, save in the customer visits, and so that you wouldn't always need to go there if you don't think it is necessary, and also reduce the cost even significantly. And it's really a new sustainable way for addressing customers. And last but not least, I would say that this was also something with the cases, for example, this Puusteli case, which I mentioned here. It's obviously also about new generations. If you think about the people, the younger generations, how they use these mobile devices, it's something that that's changed the world a lot. So here also, if you can talk to them with their, let's say, own language in a way, that okay, how to use mobile devices actually for also interacting with you on these renovations and interior design. Think about that. It's a really interesting and important opportunity for any service provider here. So that was the presentation part. Now I would like to hear if there would be any questions from you from this today's audience, or how do you see it, Fabio?
I actually have a question, Timo.
Please.
What would be you talk about the applications, and what would be the requirements for having the INAX application installed? Do I need to have a certain server requirements, specific requirements for that, or is that all just in the cloud? Or how does that work from both on the project design company, let's say this way, and for example, the homeowner willing to do the design project?
Thank you, Fabio. It's a great question. First, I will comment it from the more general perspective, how this kind of company, different solutions in augmented reality, virtual reality, how they would be deployed. So basically, there could be, it depends, of course, on the solution. There could be different things there. There could be server-side installations, and there could be different hardware. Even in virtual reality, obviously, there would be questioned about how to access even those solutions, because you would need the glasses and so on. In augmented reality, normally, and it's also possible that you would need to have server-side installations. In our case, in INAX solution, we have chosen the way where it would be the minimal installations, in a way that you would be having the things running in the cloud for you. And then for the, you simply would need to install a mobile app by you or by your customers, and then off you go. You can start working on that. So that's made as simple as possible.
Good, very good. Well, we don't have any questions at this point, but I would like to give a reflection for those who watch this, who are watching this webinar, that what would be the, well, first of all, what is the way that you usually do your measurements today, and what is the ideal way of doing it? If you can think of that and give it a thought of that, and have some reflections on it. And in addition, after seeing what you have presented, I also think of what would be the ideal time for receiving a proposal once I would, or I wish a renovation, a certain type of renovation, and I get pretty much well defined what I would like to have. So what would be the ideal time for receiving back a proposal from the service provider? So I would like to leave these two, I would say, not rhetorical questions, but more like a reflections. And yeah, you that are watching this webinar could think it over and take your own conclusions. I don't know, does that make sense?
I think those are great thoughts, Fabio. I think that's exactly what everybody should be thinking about. Is okay, how if you do things differently, how could it change your business actually? This is something where, of course, we have to, everybody in any business have to always challenge themselves. So these are the couple of the key points. There will be others as well. How to really make the customer to see the future. That's one thing, but you will certainly think about those things. Think about the challenges, think about the opportunities there. And if you have any questions to us, we're happy to be there. Here is my contact information. You can call me, you can email us, everything. And we're happy to help you in selecting whatever solution you want to go for in augmented reality. Obviously, we'll be happy to tell about our solution there. And we see that the future is bright for those who actually adopt these things, and there will be really interesting times ahead.
I would say that this would be definitely a trend to have those processes digitalized and using technology in these processes. There will probably be some sort of a demand from the society more and more. So that's what we have been seeing in many other areas, and this is not different.
Certainly, even us, we have been funded also by the European Union, because in the European Union, at least the societies, they certainly believe in these things. So,
okay, well, since we don't have any further questions, although you may have questions later, here is the contact information where you can reach us, and yeah, well, we will be happy to take any further questions you may have.
Thanks all. Have a great day. So this was great, and great success for your businesses.
Thank you, everybody, and enjoy the summer.
Yes. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.